Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cisco.
And this is Mike. And today on the show, we have two special guests. We're doing our Halloween special since it's my favorite time of the month. We got Bobby and Ray from SCPC, Southern Cali Paranormal Crew. They go out and they do investigations and basically try to find ghosts or try to find the truth behind paranormal stuff. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon now. I know the Raiders are playing, right? And
Okay.
well, I don't know if you guys like the Raiders.
Took you away from that, huh?
Well, anyways, but thank you for coming, guys.
No problem.
We want to get to know a little bit more about what you guys do. I know a lot of people this time of year, they like to get involved in the paranormal stuff, and I know you guys have a lot of experience with that. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, my name is Bobby. This is
Ray.
Ray. I started investigating and doing paranormal stuff, 5 years ago? 5 or 6? I can't even remember. I'd have to look at
It was
that.
about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or at least that's when I met you, about 5 years ago.
And this kid kept, DMing me. I kept getting a hold of, your videos are cool, this and that, and that ended up being this guy. Yeah, so it ended up being Ray here, one of my first subscribers, and he's been with me since pretty much like the first couple of videos. And basically, what we do is I'm a paranormal investigator, and I also explore old abandoned buildings. And I was living out in Victorville at the time, and like I said, it's about 5 or 6 years ago, and I got an overnight job driving a forklift at Rubbermaid, a company, you know Rubbermaid,
Yeah.
Tupperware. And right across the street from this warehouse was this huge abandoned neighborhood. Like I'm talking, I'm staring at 75, maybe 80 houses. It's completely abandoned, graffiti, broken glass. Look like crap,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can cuss.
No, you could cuss.
Okay, look like shit.
Yeah.
Like, if Skid Row was a house, there's 50, 60 of them in front of me, but it caught my attention. So the more I started working there and getting to know guys from the neighborhood, like I had moved out there, I wasn't from there, and everybody was saying the same thing. Oh, it's haunted, it's haunted, it's haunted. So we started going in there, and before you know it, the guys that were going with me overnight, because we had a graveyard shift, so we would go there from like 3:30 to 4 or something in the morning. And we started catching all kinds of weird stuff on our phones. We would use the audio recorder on our phone.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting EVP responses. Because in my eyes, like, I wasn't going in there because it was spooky. I was going in there because people were talking about it, and I wanted to know. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I don't want to hear it from everybody else. I want to see it. So we started catching stuff, and then he started rolling with me, and then before you know it, the group fell apart. One guy got married, another person just moved out of town, and nobody was interested anymore. So I didn't want to change the name, so I started doing it alone. Mm-hmm. And when Ray, me and him could hook up, because, we always used to we live close now, but before, we lived far from each other, so it was hard. And, when I go out looking for ghosts, like, I look for the truth. I'm into trying to figure out how this could be explained instead of just saying, oh, that's paranormal. Because if you look at the word paranormal investigator, you have to investigate.
Yeah.
If we're all sitting here and you tell me this place is haunted and, I don't know, your beverage right there gets knocked off, okay, that's not the end of it. No, we need to investigate. How could that have happened? Show with the camera. Are there strings or to make sure we're not hoaxing anything?
Gotcha.
Nobody's doing that. People are just calling it paranormal. And I know it looks paranormal, but you have to really debunk before you become a believer. If that makes any sense.
So you're saying that you're kind of like a scientific person. You're trying to find the scientific or
it's common sense.
Or the logic.
The logic.
The logic.
Try to be objective
Okay.
around it.
Gotcha.
This just happened. Whether it's a door or a voice. Okay, does everybody step? Don't move. Let's figure out how. Or is there somebody outside? Is there somebody in this building, like a homeless person we don't know? That's the things you need to investigate. Too many people believe in just calling something paranormal without even looking into it. That's why, unfortunately, these days in social media, we have way more fake stuff than real stuff. And it's believable. People just believe it. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
But other than that, Ray you like paranormal stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I was always more into like the urban exploration, the abandoned stuff. Like, I wasn't there for like the necessarily because it was haunted or anything. Like if that came about, I mean, awesome, but
Gotcha.
I was more into like the abandoned.
Now, do you shoot video or do you do photography or just interested in the?
I used to do a little bit of both more often. Like 3-4 years ago. I kind of fell out of it. I still hang around him, and I'll still go on, explorations and stuff with him. But
gotcha. So you just like the beauty of bandos. And,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because me being, I guess a prior photographer. I'm not gonna say. I don't know if I'm a photographer still or not. But I did the same thing. I mean, bandos have a certain feel to them.
There's like an aesthetic to it.
Yeah, you said it right.
Really,
you said it right.
It's really unique.
Yeah, it's beauty.
There's a beauty to it. As
like
weird as that sounds.
or something old or something that's not, that's abandoned. But the thing is, with me, it's like, shit. If it's scary, I might not fuck with it that much. So, but I appreciate that because now you got both sides. You got the paranormal side, investigation wise, and you got somebody who was there for the beauty. But that's cool as fuck, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I wanted to move on because there's so many questions I have. This is like my favorite topic. I don't want to make it seem like an interview. I just want to make it seem like that.
Hey, I'm comfortable. I got a beer. Just
so
whatever you guys want to talk about,
Gotcha,
ghosts,
cool.
Urbex.
I was telling you before the podcast, I came across your channel a couple years ago. I was still doing photography at the time, and I remember you saying on your shows, "Hey, if you want to come out, hit me up." And I was like, "Fuck, should I hit him up? Should I hit him up? Should I hit him up?" And I never did, out of the fact that that I was scared. My question is, obviously, without saying details, how do you go about finding these places? Like, I know sometimes you come across, when I was doing photography, you come a certain place where you're like, oh shit, I found this. But how do you go about finding all the spots that you go to? Do you just drive around, and if you see something that captures your interest?
Believe it or not, sometimes. Okay, I'll give you an example. One of my biggest videos was literally me driving down the street, looking over to the right, and just seeing this old house from the 50s. I was on Bloomington, Colton. People correct me all the time. What's the city next to Colton on the east side? It's Bloomington, Colton, then it's...
No.
Highland?
No.
Sure.
No.
It's Bloomington, Colton, Rialto's before that. Then you got San Bernardino. Not Miraloma.
I think it was Bloomington. I think.
Bloomington's the small area,
it's a small area.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was close to the 10 freeway. But anyways, we're driving, came up to the light, and I looked over, and I said, oh, shit. Pulled over. The girl I was with at the time, I said, let me run in there real quick. I got a camera. I ran in there. I went through this whole house really quick. Had an encounter with somebody, but I didn't see her. Mm-hmm. It was a dark room, and I walked in this dark room, and I said, is anybody in here? And I heard a lady respond to me, I'm in here, and it shook me because I thought I was alone. I had already looked through the whole house, and ooh, my heart jumped out of my chest, and I figured she was homeless, so I left her alone, and I walked out. But that video blew up, and it was literally something I ran into. So, yeah, I've been driving around and found abandoned spots like that. But mainly what I do is, how do I say this without giving away too many secrets?
Is it word of mouth? People telling you or recommending locations?
I guess I can do it. I don't really care, bro. Sometimes I know people if they see this and they know me, they're gonna try to do what I do. But bro, it's as simple as sometimes just looking up the county where you're at, going to a Google search and putting in
abandoned location, abandoned.
I started putting in stuff like historic abandoned so and so due to closure. Or, because that's like a headline you would see in a paper and it pops up on a Google search. Hospital, after serving 60 years in Orange County, closes its doors. And you would be surprised. And I would find the address. I would do a street map Google search. And if it looked like it was still there, there's only one way to find out. Drive your ass down there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if it looks accessible, you get in. If you can't, you can't. And there's a lot of places where you can't. Or you'll show up and it'll be knocked down. Remember that?
Completely raised, yeah.
Oh, man, tell them about that one. We went to State Line.
Yeah, we drove up about an hour, and
it was more than an hour. State Line.
I don't remember, but
yeah,
State Line.
It was still
Nevada?
there.
Yeah, State Line, Nevada. Yeah, it
was still there, perfectly intact on Google Maps. We roll up, it's like completely raised, like just like dirt,
they demolished
flat dirt.
Gotcha.
That was a beautiful roadside diner, dishes, everything in there, pictures on the wall.
That's crazy.
Other than that, yeah, I don't like to ask people for locations. If I run across somebody's video and I see that they have a location, I don't like to get into that because I already know that game. You know, we already talked about that. Mm-hmm. The urban exploring game, at least in California, well, I met a guy recently from Dallas. Yeah. There's a Can I give a shout out?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if they'll see this, but big shout out to, oh my God, what's his name? Abandoned Dallas. Yeah, Abandoned_Dallas. The dude's kicking ass right now. There's so much abandoned stuff in Texas. And basically, he was saying something that he doesn't really care for urban explorers in the Dallas area. They're all kind of cutthroat. And I was like, bro, come out to Southern Cali. Like, they're worse. Like, people have one goal in mind is to go viral and be all big on social media. And they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about being friends with you. They want a location. That's all they care. I've had people DM me, jock my shit like, oh, bro, your videos are sick and your intros are dope and blah, 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 blah. So, okay, thank you. And here comes a question. Hey, you think I can get this location? And I won't answer them back. Yeah. And then I'll see they'll unfollow me and they'll block me.
That's usually what they're trying to do, right?
That's all they care about.
They're trying to sweet talk you.
Basically, yeah. They're like
I have more respect for you if you just come out and ask, because I don't know you. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. Well, either way, you're not going to get the answer, but don't try to sweet talk me.
Yeah. And don't try to pee on my back. What do they say? Don't pee on my back and call it rain?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Hey, bro, you did a video. I think this was your video, if I remember correctly, where you traveled somewhere. I think it was the Midwest or up. The little boy in the little warehouse that appeared.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably one of the first videos I saw.
Okay.
With Lando. What was it? Land of Lando. Yeah.
I met this dude. I met this guy who lived out there, Idaho.
Yeah.
He lived out in Idaho, and I was so interested in that, and we planned it all out. And when I got out there, I found out he's born and raised in Glendora.
Oh shit!
What coincidence is that? So yeah, that was a trippy video. That was a long drive too.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, holy shit! He doesn't just do local. He does. He went out to Idaho, bro. Yeah. And I'm thinking of the picture right now, and maybe after this we'll pull it up. There was basically this little warehouse, right? It's like a little thing where they sell things, or not sell things, but they store things or whatever. Warehouse. And they say there's this little kid that appears there, or they're not just a little kid. There's a lot of shit that happens. Yeah. It was your picture, right? That was a little.
That actually wasn't mine. That was another paranormal group. But that's the picture that got me up and said I got.
Yeah, you're right. That's the picture that you said, "Oh shit, I got to really investigate this."
Yeah.
There's a picture, in the upstairs, where you can see a little face of a little kid, and it doesn't look like straight like a little kid. It looks like he's kind of half dead.
Yeah.
And it's fucking creepy, bro.
Got the white face with the black eyes, like dark.
No, it's not even black eyes.
Like white eyes.
White eyes.
Like swollen. It was weird.
Yeah, and I remember he said, I got to go investigate this, and he drove all the way out there. It was one of the first videos that I saw, and I've never been able to forget that picture, dog. Like, it trips me out.
I got a story about a picture, too, but
yeah.
I want to get into something that, we're talking about all this. Was there like a situation that occurred that kind of pushed you to want to do this or investigate things like that?
Yes.
Is that what triggered it, started it for you?
Not right away. It got delayed like 20 years, but I had an experience when I was a kid. When I was 14, I believe. And that shit just rocked me to the core, man. I've never heard my heart. You ever heard that saying when somebody gets scared, they say like, oh, I thought my heart was going to explode or come out of my chest?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it felt like. I thought my heart was going to pop. Yeah, that experience triggered a very, very strong curiosity.
What happened, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ray's heard this one many times, so don't roll your eyes. Now, I don't know if you guys are close to my age.
I'm 38.
Close. Okay. I'm 28. No, but for real, the last time the Olympics were in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I specifically remember this night. I want to say it's like 94, 95.
It was like 96, yeah.
Something. I think Atlanta? It was younger than that. Anyways, we're having a kickback at one of my friend's house. His grandma, grandpa's house, actually. And she had just died in the house, and the grandpa was out of town. But the grandma had always said, I met the grandma when she was living, and she had always told me she believed the house was haunted. She had seen people and whatever. So it was always the rumor. Well, that one night we were partying real hard. We were a bunch of kids. We had Mickeys and straight stress, rolling up stress weed and, being kids and listening to, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Snoop, Dr. Dre and Snoop. And we ended up partying, and right before we crashed out, I looked at the TV, and everybody was around the TV, the old school TV with the rabbit ears, and everybody said, what's going on? And I said, oh, there was a bombing at the Atlanta, Georgia Olympics. They're having like a festival. And I saw it was live TV, and there was a bombing. There was people laying everywhere. It was really sad. So, but that night is a significant night because I remember thinking, man, that sucks. Rolled over and I passed out on the couch. Something woke me up in the middle of the night. And when I got up, I realized I was the only one in the living room. Everybody had slept in the other parts of the house and stuff. Didn't know what it was and went back to sleep. Again, somewhere along the night, something kept waking me up. I didn't know what it was. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this. Maybe it wasn't paranormal. Maybe it was just somebody being loud in your house. In my sleep, I'm saying, what is that? What is that? I remember waking up again, and I remember it came from the kitchen. And I looked over, and I was like, who's in the kitchen? Yeah. It's late. All I could see is the moon coming through the backyard and whatever. So this time in particular, I crossed my hands like this, and I laid on my back, like I was in a coffin. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, whatever this is, I don't know what that's weird, whatever it is. So I fell back asleep, and it happened again. But this time it was stronger and louder, and it was coming from my left side. And real quietly, I opened my eyes, and I looked to the left. And the cabinets in the kitchen, you got them all up top, you got them all bottom. Especially the old school ones, if you open them just a slight and you let them go, they make that that noise. Mm-hmm. Bro, they were all opening and closing like that. And you can hear like the silverware drawers opening and slamming closed. You can hear pots and pans and shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this, and it's going on like 4 or 5 seconds. And like a dime, that shit just stopped. And I laid there like thinking like, okay, you just saw this, right? I'm asking myself, I'm like, yes, I just saw this. And somehow I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I told my friend, and later he found out his mom had a similar experience in that house. And that was the beginning of my curiosity into the paranormal. And later in my life, I just happened to get into it full time.
Since that experience, did you experience anything after that? Or was that the major experience, and then nothing, and then not, and you said, oh, you know what? I've always wondered about that day. Because I know people that...
What's the tipping point to push you to start investigating it, I guess?
I was this was way later. This was 5 or 6 years ago. I was in a transitional point in my life where I was coming out of a real bad place for a lot of years, and I was coming into a new place, a new chapter. And I had a lot of free time on my hands. I was working, I was seeing my son, but I was living out in Victorville, and we started investigating, and that's when it wasn't that experience where the next day I was like, I want to do this. I mean, later, I did go along with other groups, when I was like in my 20s and stuff, but I never took it on and called myself a paranormal investigator. But other than that experience, when I did become a full-time investigator, I have seen stuff. I've seen a full-body apparition, like me and you, as clear as day. He wasn't gray, it was nothing, it was a solid person. I've seen a ball about the size of a soccer ball, and in the middle, it looked like vape smoke, white like milk, real cloudy. And on the outside, there were like little flares coming out of it. I saw it go across the ground and go into this room, and it got sucked in the room like a volcano or a tornado. Like it made that cone shape. It was like, whoosh, and it went into this room and disappeared. And those are the only two experiences I had visually that I saw that with my childhood experience that,
Yeah.
I don't know what tops off.
Gotcha.
But
yeah.
I was equally as scared for all three.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ray, what about you? Are you...
In terms of like paranormal stuff?
In terms of paranormal, I know you said that you when it comes to the exploring...
Honestly, every single location I ever went to, I never saw anything as extreme as that. Only I ever got weird feelings and maybe recorded a couple weird voices. But I never saw like a full body apparition or anything. I always wanted to. But
gotcha. And this is from going with him on the bandos?
Yeah.
What about prior to that? Have you had any prior experiences?
A couple times in my childhood, I saw shadow people. If you guys are familiar with that concept, it's just like those full body, I don't know, they're like silhouettes of people. I saw those as a kid, but some of that stuff I always wonder if it's, maybe it's just, when you're a kid growing up, your perception is totally different. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just kind of imagine some of that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. You're a skeptic at first or not?
I still try to be as skeptical as possible. Okay. Like even till now.
I think you have to be.
Yeah.
There's too many people that are gullible that try to be paranormal investigators, and they don't use real equipment. If they do use real equipment, they're not using it right. They're relying on like phone apps and stuff. I don't mess with those.
What do you think about the paranormal investigators? There's obviously a wide variety of them on YouTube. There's a couple of my daughters watch. So they're younger, and I don't know if you know. I can't recall the name. One's a güerito, and then the other one. They're all güeros, but they're very young and
big channels.
Yeah, they're big channels. Yeah. What do you think of those channels? As far as the reason I ask is because sometimes I feel like they go extra, and they're always catching stuff. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Do you always catch stuff?
Yeah.
You want to say it?
I know what you're going to say because I've heard it as it.
It's all bullshit. It's all
bullshit?
It's all for views and money.
Okay. Because I heard that sometimes you could go hours without even getting anything.
Oh, yeah.
I always try to tell people that when you look at paranormal investigating, you have to look at it like fishing. You know, if everybody in this room went fishing right now, what are the chances of us catching a 15-pound fish?
Pretty slim.
Pretty slim, right? What are the chances of us catching a little guppy? Better. What are the chances of us catching nothing?
Exactly.
That's how paranormal investigating works. If you are not sure about who you're watching, if they're real or fake, if people care, look at all their videos. If they're catching crazy shit every single video, bullshit, it doesn't work that way. You know, and it does hurt the paranormal, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. We're living in a tablet baby society now. You know, these young kids they want instant gratification. They want to hit a button. They want to see an app. They want to get it done. That's why nobody cares about stuff that we do. Nobody cares about the hours and the time, the travel to go and to come back and edit all this shit and put it together and tag it right and do the research and see what other videos are doing under that category. Nobody cares about that. They would rather follow and respect a 7-second reel on Instagram, a 3-second TikTok video. Like what can you learn in 3 seconds?
You're right.
Spooky noise, you know, somebody pointing their phone down a hallway. And then the title is like, the children are speaking. It's like, well, I need more than 3 seconds to know what you're talking about. Like, and people would rather see that than see a guy with gray hair and his buddy, OGs, walking through an abandoned place looking for ghosts. You know, nobody wants to see the real shit. They just want to get scared.
Gotcha.
You know?
They also want to be entertained, too.
Yeah, you just want to be entertained. That's it.
Gotcha.
Entertainment. So, in social media in general, I believe these days there's 3 kinds of ghost hunters out there. There's, number 1, guys who intentionally fake shit for views and money, and they're obviously successful. Number 2, you got these groups that come out of the woodwork with all matching shirts. They all have titles. I'm an empath. My wife's a psychic empath, super medium, you know, low sodium, no GMO, whatever these titles like. When I was younger, it was fucking psychics and psychic mediums, and now it's changed. Now it's empaths. That's the whole thing now. Just like when I was a kid, there used to be just vegetarians, then it turned into vegans, and now it's plant-based. Global warming, now it's called what? Climate control. Like, things change. They just put a new label on it. And these people are coming out here and they're using phone apps, and the phone apps can be explained if you take the 2 seconds to figure out it's not paranormal.
Yeah.
You know, how do you trust? And if you look at the groups of guys that are making these paranormal ghost phone apps, they're tied to a lot of other fake apps, a lot of silly apps, like that, apps that don't make sense, you know? Then the problem with the second type of ghost hunters, they watch way too much, number 1, the fake guys, so they think that's real. And then, unfortunately, you got guys like me. Very small amount of people out there that respect the paranormal, they respect the research, and they want answers. And at the end of the day, if a big following comes and you can do this for the rest of your life and get paid off social media, that's fine. But if that's your focus, you know,
Gotcha.
The focus needs to be on paranormal investigating, making content, not just, I want views, I want the big channel, I want the mansions, I want to be like these TikTokers driving Lamborghinis and shit. Like, bro, make some content first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how I look at it. So yeah, those channels, bro. There's ghost hunting on social media. I would have to say is probably 90% fake.
Okay.
90%.
What about the actual TV shows like Ghost Hunters and all that stuff? Do you think that some of those are
Adventures?
still Ghost Adventures and
Probably a lot of the same.
I mean, it's all production, right?
You're not asking a guy who doesn't do this, who's done it once or twice. No, I do this. This is my thing. I do this alone. I've gone in these places by myself. So I know what I'm talking about. When it comes to Ghost Adventures, there's just too many inconsistencies in their content.
Gotcha.
Too much contradictory. And there's a lot of ghost hunters out there that don't fake shit, that are legit, that believe them. And they can't understand where I'm coming from. Like, what do you mean they're fake? Bro, just watch some of the content. Like, that's all I got to say. Too many inconsistencies.
Gotcha.
The shit just doesn't add up. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. What equipment? What do you guys use? What do you use?
Bro, I believe in the basics. Digital voice recorder, which everybody can use their phone. It's just a recording, any recording device, anything that can record audio. K2 meter, REM pod, SB7 spirit box. Okay. I don't mess with Ouija boards. I don't do dowsing rods. I don't use phone apps. Portals, like those weird boxes. People, people like to use this thing they download called Necro something.
Never heard of it.
It's supposed to be a spirit box through the internet. But if you understand the way the white noise is supposed to work in theory, you can't do that off the satellites. You have to have a diode and a radio. It gets real technical because when you switch a radio station from left to right, like the old school ones, that little switch that makes that noise to the next channel, the diode in that radio actually sends a signal to the moon and back super fast, like really high frequency, like whatever. We can go down the rabbit hole with that, but that's where the white noise comes from. That constant, that when you click like that, there's something that goes on that allows spirits around you to speak. And these phone apps, just garbage, man. Just research it. I'll give you an example. Randonautica. You ever heard of that one? Never heard of that? Randonautica is a app that got really big a couple years ago where you basically, I think you have to buy it. It's like $10. I don't know for sure. And you type in what your intentions are and what you want to look for. So, hey, let's do it, right? Let's look up dead bodies. Well, duh. Guess where it's going to send you? Just take a guess.
To the internet to find...
No. If it's telling us directions.
Oh, to cemeteries.
Thank you. And people show up to a cemetery and go, oh my God, this app really works. No, because when you download the app, it asks your permission to find you through the satellites and get your location. Yeah. You ask for clowns, it's going to take you to a Halloween store or a costume store. You know?
That's crazy. And people believe it because it took me here.
It's logic. Just it takes 2 seconds. People have logic. They just don't care. They want the views, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of equipment that has been debunked that people use, like the twist flashlight. You ever seen people put the flashlight down and tell ghosts to turn it on and it goes on?
Yeah.
Bro, they never do it with the little clicker, but they'll do it with the twist flashlight. There's a reason for that. It's explained. It's just two metals touch.
Yeah, and once they don't touch.
And they touch, and then I think they get hot and they shrink. And when they touch barely, when they shrink, they separate and the light turns off. And then when they cool down, they inflate and touch again and the light goes back on. Shit can be explained. People just don't want to take the time to do it.
What about the Estes method?
How's that?
That's the one where...
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
Method?
Estes method. That's the one where you... Well, I guess they blindfold them and then they're listening to the white noise.
I don't get where the blindfold part comes in, but okay. That one I probably just try it, but right off the bat I'm going to tell you what happens after the spirit box has been running for about 5 minutes.
It just starts catching stuff.
No, it starts fucking with your ears. You start to think you hear stuff, but you're not sure, and it's loud, it's annoying, and so maybe. I don't know. They're jumping to conclusions. I haven't seen anything solid off of it.
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
That one I'd be down to try, but I'm going to lean more towards questionable.
Okay.
I didn't know it was called the Estes method, though.
Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot of people refer to it. And they're listening to shit and they're just, whatever they hear.
It's like a spirit box, right?
I don't know what it is. I know that they put headphones on and they cover their... I don't know what the folding is.
I've seen
and then somebody will sit next to them with the pen and the pad.
And they're writing down.
Yeah. I think they do run a spirit box.
Yeah, I think it is because they're hearing something.
But nobody else can hear it but them. Oh,
yeah.
That's got to get to you after a while, though, dude. That noise.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Dang.
I got a spirit box. You want to try it? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, we can do that for later. Yeah, I'm down to try it. We should try it, actually. But I was going to ask you, obviously you're talking about, a lot of things being faked and a lot of your... like adventures, sometimes you come up with nothing. Have you been jaded by like what you're doing and what other people are doing and to actually believe in these things? Or like you say, you're using logic. So have you debunked yourself a lot of the times as well? Or has that affected you believing it?
sometimes you can make mistakes. I can't think of any offhand, but it happens a lot actually. We'll hear something, or I don't know, we'll go and investigate, and it'll end up being something that's totally okay. Well, that's where that's coming from. I don't know. Can you think of anything we've experienced like that?
About setting off your EMF meter with your phone.
Yes,
that's a big one.
That's a big one. The K2 meter used to always go off, like real hardcore. But I noticed it only went off like that when I did a live stream. Okay, what? Okay, so let me look into it a little more. Sure enough, the live stream on your phone puts out a ton of EMF that the device picks up. That's what ghosts are supposed to be made of, electromagnetic field, electromagnetic energy. And basically, you got people who are using that as a tool. They know, oh, well, let's go live because this thing is going to go nuts every time. And sometimes I would reach out to these ghost hunters and explain to them, no, you're wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Screw you. No room to hear any type of constructive criticism or the truth, basically.
So, do you think maybe they knew and you know what, we want the views, so fuck it.
There's a lot of people who know what they do is not paranormal.
Gotcha.
But they just, and I think there's a lot of people who go out to a location, like I said, they take the time, the gas money, all this stuff adds up. It's more than a hobby. It's almost another part-time job. And when they get back and they start editing, they realize they didn't catch nothing. So what the problem there is, they start looking for things. And you'll notice a very inexperienced ghost hunter will always get voices caught on their camera. And that's because they're rubbing their camera. The microphone's connected in the camera. Gotta get a tripod on that thing, or a handheld, or a little, what is it? Manfrottos, those little, that's another.
The little stabilizers?
Something. Yeah. Don't touch the camera. Get it out of your grasp. Don't breathe into it too heavy.
Gotcha. What's been one of your favorite places? One of you guys' favorite places? I'm pretty sure each of you have a different favorite place, right?
Unless it's the same one, is it?
George.
Oh, that's your favorite.
Excuse me.
My favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite was the Women's and Children's Hospital in LA.
Oh, you're talking about haunted or abandoned?
Favorite place.
Location. Both. Favorite place just to. I mean, I know he likes the view and the.
Yeah. Haunted places, for me, the best place I like to investigate is the Georgia Air Force Base.
Okay.
And I don't go as much as I used to, but I used to go a lot.
That's the one that's out in the desert, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Victorville.
Okay.
North end of Victorville, going towards Barstow.
Is that still government property?
No. It was closed in 1992, and a logistics company bought it. Boeing actually makes stuff there.
Gotcha.
And they use the airport, but they have to have security because a lot of people go in the abandoned areas. And
it's all open too. You can just drive right in. Pretty much.
Everybody gets caught because the front gates are open always because there is some businesses back there, so people just drive in.
But do they kick you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got a little method,
Yeah. you
I've been
mentioned,
caught, but only like twice.
Oh. You mentioned the Women and Children's Hospital?
In LA, yeah. It's
awesome.
They tore it down like, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago.
Where was that one at?
It's by you.
Right
not really
across
familiar
from
with LA.
the General Hospital.
Okay.
There was a little one.
That's the one
down
that everybody
hill.
was breaking into, right? For a while too,
Yeah,
for
I
pictures.
think so.
There was two of them. The old LA County, the old school one from the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one in East LA?
Yeah.
Off of State Street?
That's the one where
It's the LAUSC.
tuberculosis, right? That's the one where they treated all the tuberculosis patients, right?
It's so old, I'm sure they did.
Because I remember that it was featured in one of the
Blood In, Blood Out. They
Was
filmed the front steps. When
Okay.
dude came home from the Marines.
Yeah. But that was also featured in American Horror Story.
Was it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Right before they tore it down. It was one of the...
Well, the original one, if you want to look at that property in general, they say it's like 140 years old.
Yeah.
But
Has
building,
tunnels
I
underground
think-
and everything.
Yeah, and the tunnels were used for tuberculosis patients.
Yeah.
So whenever the tuberculosis patients would die, that's where they would travel
Yeah.
the body. That they would to
The
the
employees,
tunnel.
the nurses have to walk through there sometimes.
Fuck that.
Yeah, there's some crazy stories.
Why is
man.
that your favorite though? Out of all of those,
I don't know. It was just
You said it earlier.
they had all the equipment and everything left
Beauty.
behind. It just had like the best like horror movie feel to it. It had like
Gotcha.
the best. Yeah.
see, I would not. I hate hospitals. Even though I work for one. To me, the whole white walls, long hallways, that's a no-no for me. So that would probably be my least favorite band, though. because
Also, it's pitch black when you go inside too.
yeah,
There's no lights on.
No way I would fucking.
Dude, let me tell you, that hospital is amazing. Have you ever been standing on the front steps of the General, like where they filmed that blood in, blood out scene? Okay. Have you ever passed by that hospital?
Yeah.
Okay. If you noticed, when you go to the very front of the hospital, there's a little road that leads you around. And then there's a hill, and down below there's another like 10-story building. That was from the 50s, and it was a women's children's hospital. And they had everything related to women and children, pediatrics, and used to give birth there and stuff. That one is amazing because when they built the new one, which is on the other side, same little intersection, I think, off State, I think, they literally like closed their doors. Like they told everybody, oh, tomorrow morning, show up down the street. Crazy thing is, and we're talking like everything's dark. We got these masks on, these respirators, so we're not.
You're not breathing the asbestos, right?
Oh, whatever. There's all kinds of shit in there. Yeah. And I would come across like a nurse's desk, and bro, like the cup of coffee. You remember those old school cups of coffee? There was a playing card. It was a game where you see what kind of hand, like a poker game, on the cup, and you see if you won. One of those, all black and moldy inside, full of cobwebs. I opened up the drawer. There was everything in there from pencils, markers, erasers. I mean, it literally looked like the woman just got up and left. It was like a time capsule.
Man, that's crazy.
I love that. And it's even better when you start going through the operating rooms.
I seen some of those
operating
pictures.
rooms, bro. Like
Equipment's still there,
everything.
Fully
Saws
intact,
to cut people open. Books and books and books of autopsies of dead women.
Of
Cause
like real
of death. Books like piled, like 4 feet
crazy.
high,
Left all
all
those
along this
documents
wall.
there. I couldn't believe it actually.
Yeah.
I remember we were going through one, and I think the first we looked at it was like a gunshot victim. So I was like, "This is I don't know." It makes it feel real too when you come across those kind of documents and stuff.
Yeah.
It really gets that sense of like history to it.
How do you guys go home after that? Like watching something like that, or where you're like, I'm just gonna leave it at where it's at. Like, or do you guys go home and be like, holy shit, we did like, do you guys think about it 24/7, or do you shut it down at certain points and say, all right, when I'm doing this, I'm gonna be fucking focused on the paranormal investigation?
I'd say I leave it there. Personally, I leave it there. Like I never really thought about it too much after I left the location. I mean, there's always the chance of like bringing home some like contaminants or something on your clothes. Other than that,
What about
like,
a ghost?
I mean, that wouldn't follow me home. So I mean,
That's what I was gonna say. Is there actually a way to actually turn it off? Because
Yeah.
like you see something and
Well, it
it's like,
depends
oh
what you're
shit.
doing.
Yeah.
If you're a photographer like yourself and you go into an abandoned place, not much you can do. There's not much you want to do unless there is a ghost there you don't know. But what I rely on, usually when I have an experience or when I go there with the intention to look for spirits, when I have an experience or if I usually 95% of the time do this. When I get in my car, I do an exit prayer.
Okay.
Just say, I believe in Jesus Christ. That's my
Gotcha.
Son of God. And I just say in the name of Jesus Christ, you can't come in my car. You can't invade my space. You have to stay here. Good luck to you. If I come back next time, come and communicate, but you have to leave. Goodbye. I also carry sage with me.
Okay.
Because
Sage and Palo Santo.
yeah, that can get sketchy, and you should have some of that.
Cool.
We had a medium on here and he told us about that stuff.
You had a medium on here?
Yeah. We had AJ Barrera. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. No. But yeah, he was telling us about the sage and the Palo Santo and things like that. It's actually the same thing, sacred space. Like having your space and whoever you pray to or believe in. And
yeah.
No, I know you mentioned something about mediums, right? You said that you don't. Do you believe in them, or do you?
I don't want to offend anybody. I just have my opinions.
Gotcha.
I've actually done a lot of work with these new age empaths, and I don't. They do their thing. That's fine. I don't have any interest for them to be on my channel.
Gotcha. The reason I mentioned that is because when he came on here, we brought him just like you guys, to talk bullshit. It came out from him. We had an episode where he was like, "Hey, can I tell you guys something?" And he started talking to us about his dad. His dad passed away the year prior, and he was saying things to him and us that only he knew. And so
Like, hold on, like how? Like deep stuff that nobody knows?
Yeah, deep stuff that nobody
general
knows.
stuff.
No,
deep stuff.
Deep stuff. He talked about he called out my mother's name when he was in the
You don't know
hospital.
this dude?
Hey, no,
What's that?
we don't
Never
know
met him before?
No.
Never met him. This we don't even have social media.
Interesting.
And the reason I brought it up is not because of that. Is more because he, just like you, he had a similar. Why we asked him, how did you let that shit go? Whenever you have these experiences, same thing, prayer, exit prayer, saying, hey, you're not allowed to walk on me. I mean, to follow me. You are to stay where you're at. So it just got me because I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Similar ways of leaving a place, but different beliefs.
It's
you know
similar, yeah, because he also talks about how it's more energy than actual physical people, you know.
That
like
goes back to the electromagnetic. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
That's why they're able to drain equipment. Full cameras that have never given you a problem before just absolutely died. No battery. Then
So
3 minutes later, it's got a full battery. Like,
That's
that doesn't
crazy.
happen, you know?
So that's what I was going to ask you. You want another one?
Sure. If you
I was going to ask you. You mentioned you believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah, that's just my belief personally.
Gotcha. How does that tie in to this part of the work? Like, do you leave the religious aside from it, or does that have something to do with how you investigate or when you go about doing the paranormal stuff?
Well, the only time I really reach out to God or Jesus if I feel like I need him is when something like that happens, and it usually starts when you're doing an investigation. It usually starts right away with either nausea or a little. I can't explain it unless it's happened to you. Like just the phrase I could say would be not yourself. You're just not right. You just not. It's not my thoughts, you know. You
Disoriented and stuff.
Real
like
quick, for like bipolar or something. You know, anybody who's known me, you ask anybody, I've never had any mental illness or been diagnosed with anything. So there have been a few times where I just started to feel sick. I don't know, like maybe I ate some bad shrimp or something. You know, something.
Yeah.
I need some Pepto or something, and then it comes on with a depression, and that's when I usually utilize, you know, the God I believe in. Sometimes I'll get a bad feeling before we even go to a place. I don't know where that comes from, but I'll say a prayer then to protect us, and we're only doing this to educate and to get to know about the afterlife and just protect us from the bad ones. You know?
Gotcha.
So yeah, I do believe my belief in Jesus is pretty strong, and you know, he's a tool that I lean on when I investigate. And that can go the other way too, because I got a brother I got family members who are Christian, and I believe in Jesus, but I don't consider myself to be any denomination. And I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
I got baptized in the Christian church later when I was an adult. But right now, I believe in God and Jesus. And I've had some Christian family members tell me, you know what you're doing? You're messing with demons. The Bible says you're talking to demons.
Stigmas behind everything like that.
There is no, people are going to see this, are going to probably argue like, oh, they were right. You should listen to them. They say, you're talking to demons when you ghost hunt because there is no heaven and hell. And if you're speaking to somebody, yeah, I believe it, but they're demons. And I tell them, I said, well, you believe in spirits too. They say, no, I don't. And I said, yes, you do. They said, how? I said, you believe in the Holy Spirit. Shuts them down. They're like, oh, shit, I do. Holy Spirit's a spirit, you know? So.
Crazy.
What are your personal feelings? What do you believe when do you believe it's actual ghosts, spirits, energy left behind, free moving things,
Bro,
or what is it?
Days and days. It's all theory, and it's all like faith, I guess. But basically, it's strange because even if you watch TV shows and stuff, you'll find out that there's a couple different types of hauntings, and this is where the topic gets really deep and interesting. There are some locations that are haunted where people are seeing the same thing.
Repetitive.
Person will walk, I'm just an example, a ghost will come out of this room and walk into that wall. It doesn't communicate with anybody. It doesn't look in your direction. It doesn't even know you're there, but people have seen this. And then you got ghosts who totally can communicate with you. Maybe you can't see them as clear as that. So what's the difference? One of them is like a scar in time, and the other one, they can communicate? Like, I don't understand. You know, that's
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is no experts in this field.
I had a professor in high school. I don't know if you had him, Mr. Cabri.
Mm-hmm.
He was from back east, so he would tell us that he had an experience when he was a kid as well. And he told us about that. He did paranormal investigations. So on Halloween, he would always bring out his pictures and all all these things and show them to us. And he told us pretty much there's 3 types of spirits or energies. The repetitive ones, like you said, every year, like I guess one was a bride to be. The day of her wedding, she was walking down the stairs. Halfway down, she fell and died. So same time of year, every year, she does the same thing.
Okay.
You see her, she appears and then same thing, and she just disappears. Then there's like the Casper ones that you said that are like balls of just ghosts, and then there's the free roaming
shadows.
Yeah, so that's what he was telling us. So it was pretty cool. So right now that he brought it up, it was like,
yeah.
You guys know what a doppelganger is?
It's like a twin, right?
A twin.
It's like it's supposed to be you and.
I've got one experience about that. It's in a video, but the video doesn't do it as much justice as if you had to have been there. So we're sitting.
This is one of your videos,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
So we went out to a place that I saw on TV called the Glen Tavern Inn out in Santa Paula. I think it's Ventura County.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole place shuts down at 10 o'clock. The front desk guy goes to his room. It's so old school. They got the old bell, ding, 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 you know. Smells old in there. Got so much history. It's called the Glen Tavern Inn. So this girl I was with at the time was sitting next to me, and my buddy Carson was over here. And I kept seeing something in the corner of the lobby, and there's nobody in this lobby but us. And it's spooky as hell. It's like 2:30 in the morning. And every time I looked over there, I kept seeing movement, but I wanted to catch it. So like low key, I turned on my phone like this, and I just sat it up like this, and I propped it up, and I put my thumb right on the camera button. And every time I saw it, I would just snap a picture and not even look. I saw it again in my peripheral, I'd snap a picture. And when I looked, it was the shadow of a guy. He was gray, and he was hiding behind a pole. But he had a coat on that looked exactly like my friend Carson. And then everybody said the same thing. As soon as they looked at it, they say, that looks like Carson. I said, he's been sitting here the whole time. So I told him, I said, dude, go over there and just try to pose like that. And I compared him, and wow. You got to watch that video, bro.
I think you recreated it, right?
We recreated it. I told him to go stand behind the pole. And then I looked at the picture I just took, and my girlfriend at the time was looking at it. And she goes, what the fuck? That's him.
So you have that video live?
Yeah.
I'm going to check that shit out.
It's on my channel, the Glen Tavern Inn.
Okay.
A lot of videos on it.
There was another part of that video that was, honestly, for me, was, I swear, man, that's probably one of the best, like,
my shirt
supernatural pieces of evidence that you clearly see the back of his shirt gets pulled by something.
At first,
your shirt?
Yeah.
At first, I felt from right to left. No. From left to right, I felt something, maybe like a little bit of heat on my lower back. And I kind of put my hand back there, and it was kind of weird. And right when I was about to forget about it, my whole back of my left shirt, somebody just like yanked it like that. And I looked and caught it on camera.
Clearly, like,
clearly, it looked like somebody just yanked it.
When things like that happen to you, what goes through your mind?
At that time, it wasn't strong, but it was just like, and then when I looked back, I tripped out. I was like, whoa.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's the same hotel room we were in the morning. We were checking out. The closet door, the knob turned and opened. We saw that. And the woman, a prostitute, was beheaded because that used to be a brothel back in the day. Some guy paid for her services, took her in the room, and took her in that closet and cut her head off.
Oh, was that specific room?
Yeah, in that specific room.
Have you ever been to the Cecil Hotel?
No.
Back when it was open?
No.
Is it still open now? They rebranded it, right? They changed
the
name.
Yeah, they rebranded it.
I think they actually permanently closed it.
No, they changed the name.
They've been trying to do stuff with it for years. I don't know. Sometimes that's a mystery too. You know, they say they're going to do this, and then nothing happens for 5 years, and then they say they're going to remodel it, and then looks like, you know, you see construction workers, and then still.
What do you think of that video of that girl that killed herself, or the girl that was found in the
tank,
in the water tank?
Elisa Lam, that was her.
Elisa Lam.
Yeah, Elisa Lam. What do you think of that?
Very questionable, because at first the whole story was that she had no drug use, no mental illness history. She was some kind of a student or something that was staying down here. Turns out later she did have a history of mental illness.
Yeah,
now, why wasn't that?
Her family brought it up.
Her family brought it up. She was disturbed. She was sick. Okay. I think she made it to the roof, fell in this water tank, and I think a worker or somebody in the morning saw it and said, oh shit, and went and closed it, didn't realize she was dead in there.
But how do you explain that being closed?
What do you mean?
They found her in the tank, but the lid closed.
And it was locked.
It was locked.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could think of. Like I said,
that's
it. All my guess is just an opinion, but
did you hear the one where they said she was a spy?
Conspiracy theories out here.
conspiracy theories. So
that is spooky though, because apparently they used that water for a few days.
oh yeah,
people were
drank from
drinking
it.
Drank. Wow.
People were
Fuck
brushing
that.
their teeth, like, that's
Yeah. Fuck
Taking a
that.
shower in that.
yeah, that thing lawsuits, man, like crazy. Imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So, what do you tell people that like during this season want to get in touch with ghosts? Like, what would you say to somebody who wanted to do a seance, or let's see if this is haunted? What would you tell people during this time of the year?
During Halloween?
During Halloween, yeah.
They don't have. It doesn't have to be Halloween to do that.
No, I know, but the reason I'm saying that is because it interest in,
I would tell
ghosts
them
sparks up.
if you guys want to have a good time, go have a good time. But also keep in mind that there's a lot of disinformation. There's a lot of silly fake guys out there on the internet that are passing evidence off as real. But if you're gonna do it for real, I would be very careful. You want to really see something interesting, you want to communicate with ghosts, it's not going to happen in that one night. You got to find somebody who's involved in a group, and you got to tag along. You got to go several times if you really are interested. These days, people are not. They go once and they're like,
Nothing
I'm
happens,
cool.
so it's like,
I'm cool.
Gotcha.
Boring. I'd rather watch this TikToker,
Because he'll find something.
Oh, they'll find something in 3 seconds. They can find ghosts in a dumpster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you were telling us earlier before we actually went on that Halloween, it's kind of been ruined for you, and you're not a big horror fan either of movies.
I don't want to say ruined, but people are surprised when I tell them I don't care for Halloween. I don't hate Halloween. I just don't care for it. There's nothing scientifical or metaphorical or anything that ties the date of Halloween with the paranormal. Like, as far as getting like there's nothing out there that proves that Halloween you can speak to spirits better than any time. No,
Gotcha.
It's just personally me. I love to dress up in costumes. I think it's funny. I think it's a good time. I have my little boy. He doesn't trick or treat anymore. He's older, but I think the kids have a good time. It's a fun thing. But as far as that, I like the parties. I like to dress up, but I don't really mix fiction with the real stuff.
Gotcha.
Horror movies, cool, just not a big deal. I don't see how horror movies should involve anybody's opinion in the paranormal field. I don't know. To me, there's just something funny when you go and investigate with the guy, and he watches all the fake channels and doesn't know watches all the fake channels and doesn't know they're fake, doesn't care they're fake, and loves Halloween, loves horror movies. Gets sad when Halloween's over. It's like something about
I know, bro.
I mean, and you know what? That's fine. That's cool. It's just I don't know.
No, I mean, I love Halloween, but like I told you, everybody knows this. I not the first time I've said it when we talked about ghosts. I'm a pussy when it comes to that shit. Like, ain't no fucking way. If you told me, hey, we're going to go to a bando, I'll be like, all right, cool. But if you told me, hey, bro, we're going to go to a haunted bando, I'll be like, fuck no. Because...
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the misconception. Paranormal investigating and the paranormal in general these days, specifically through social media, has got a bad... It's looked at in a bad way now because, I'm sorry, but social media is just destroying a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's destroying boxing. We can go down that rabbit hole. You got these big YouTubers who've been boxing for like 2 years, and all of a sudden they claim they're greater than Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson.
But because they have that following, right? They have that million.
Yeah. So it's when people look at the paranormal 20 years ago, it's not how people look at the paranormal today. It's the fake shit has taken over so deep, and it's so embedded that people really don't care if a person's fake anymore. They like that. So
Gotcha.
Me, I stick to the truth, nothing but the truth. I will never go in and say this happened and that happened and we got chased out and Ray knows me.
Well, what if they offered you $1 million? Would you do it?
See, now that's the thing. I was having this conversation with my brother the other day. Like, everybody's got a price, but realistically, nobody's gonna offer me $1 million for what? 100,000? I don't know.
Have you ever thought about debunking some of these people? Like going to the locations that
Not worth my time.
they claim?
Not worth my time. A lot of locations I've been to that I've seen on TV, ghost adventure locations, and when I go in there, they got nothing nice to say about those guys. And I'm like, why? And We're talking like 5 or 6 locations.
I've heard about that.
When I ask why, they say because they bullshitted everything. You know, they always bring up the same topics. This place is haunted because of demons and Indian burial ground. It's like, bro, get a new shtick. Come on, dude. Like, and people gobble it up. They love it. You know?
Yeah.
So there's a place in Death Valley called Death Valley Junction Opera House. Armagosa Opera House. Amargosa?
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Adventures went there, and that's why I was intrigued about it. This was years ago. I went out there, and I stayed there, and, man, they just were like, oh, they're not welcome back here. Because the owner told them that don't mention anything negative, and there's no demons here. The spirits are generally peaceful. And they went and just, you know, just completely.
They made up all kinds of shit.
Big pile of dog shit.
Damn. I know you stayed out in Temecula at the Old Town, one of the hotels, right?
I lived there.
No, but I'm saying you went to one of the hotel rooms there, right?
Yeah. Palomar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got the dude's number, but I don't think he's renting any rooms. There's only like 6 rooms or 8 rooms. How do you go
about renting some of these rooms that are haunted? Do the hotels freely say fuck it?
That's another one. I just like, how do I find abandoned places? Sometimes I'll go online and I'll put in homicide, local motel room, Los Angeles County, Orange County, or I'll just start typing in cities with that, you know. And dude, shit'll pop up. I found one in Highland. There was a double overdose, a couple, at this place called the Knights Inn in Highland. And oh my God, I want to talk about ghetto. Mm-hmm. There were like toothless ex-con tweakers on bikes collecting cans at 3 a.m., arguing in front of our door. Like, I thought they were going to start stabbing each other. People just, you know, knocking on our door in the middle of the night. Like, it was really ghetto. But there was a double overdose right there. So that's the stuff I'm interested in to investigate, you know.
Yeah.
You know, another good one is the Mission Inn in Riverside.
Okay, yeah.
They are very anti-filming, so if anybody's watching, you know, do what you want in your room, but when you go out, just try to be low-key. It's an amazing place. That's really active, too. But generally, bro, it's just a search. If I'm interested in something, you know, like, and sometimes I chase, like, dead ends. It turns into a dead end. I found a news story about the Motel 6 off of Gary Avenue in the 60 freeway in Pomona. Mm-hmm. Hella ghetto-fied. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the worst motels in that part of town. And back in the day, they gave the address, they gave the names, but I cannot find the room number. Back in the day, a guy cut out his girlfriend's baby out of her stomach. I think killed the baby. And he took off, and she died. They found her and he closed the door. The next day, the housekeepers found her in the shower and with all that. Just terrible.
Fuck.
Damn.
She's seen a picture of the dude, too. Fool's Gone Wild times 10, man.
Yeah?
He was just fucking all kinds of bad, you know, $3 tattoos all over his face. He looked like he was on a sick one.
Fuck that.
So he was born with a peepa in his mouth, you know?
Have you guys ever came across any dead bodies? No?
Dead animals. That's about it.
Yeah. Dead animals.
Sacrifice dead animal?
Nah, hopefully not.
Sacrifice the dead animal?
Sacrificial?
Why would a animal carcass wrapped in a bunch of blankets and towels and shit be in an abandoned place?
That's true. So there's probably a lot of tweakers out there too, huh?
I've run into tweakers. I've had a gun pulled on me.
Oh shit.
So
it's
Tell about that one.
Yeah, we were in Orange County, and this Ray's buddy, this guy Carson, took me to a really good location, just an abandoned location. It wasn't haunted. Well, he didn't know if it was haunted, but it was an old car dealership, a Nissan dealership. Mm-hmm. Then he said, I got another location. It's a nursery. So I thought nursery, like, you know.
Trees?
Baby?
Oh.
No, it was trees. Yeah. Uh-huh. It was a farm. And we went there, and there was nothing much to see there. I kind of wanted to ask him, like, why'd you bring me here? There's like nothing here. All kinds of no trespassing signs. We had to, like, hop this barbed wire fence. Big old deal. The owner shows up, and he sees us, and he pulls out this long-ass hunting rifle and starts threatening us. I should kill you both right here. And I'm like... My homeboy Carson was just like shaking, bro. He was like, "Let's go."
This is out in Orange County?
Yeah.
I read something about Orange County that there's some hills where people go hiking.
Black Star Canyon?
I think so. Yeah.
Black Star?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been up there.
There used to be, I don't know if this was like years ago, but there used to be, allegedly there was some guy who would like shoot at hikers and stuff.
Yeah. I heard about that shit.
There's another place like that in Big Bear. There's a location they labeled it Satan's Castle. You remember that one?
I've heard of it now.
If you look it up, it's in Big Bear, I think, or Crestline. And there's a neighbor who lives up on a hill who shoots at people who tries to go in there. This is just rumor. I heard he did shoot somebody in the ankle, but they never said anything. He never got busted for it. But like,
that's crazy shit.
Oh, it's extreme.
You know what that reminds me of? Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre people or
rural areas and
shit. Like there is people out there.
Yeah,
we went up to one place that was super remote, way up in northern Montana. Like that had those straight up same vibes. Montana. There was an Air Force base, right?
Yeah, it was an old abandoned Air Force base in Montana. Yeah. How we both ended up out there? Long story, bro. I met him and I told him, yeah, I'm going to a couple months. I'm going to fly out to see my cousin. He moved out of California. He lives in Billings, Montana. Mm-hmm. He started laughing. He goes, dude, I got family out there. I'm going out there at the same time. So I flew, he drove, and we hooked up. And tell him about the story.
Well, we woke up at like 2 a.m. We drove maybe 3 or 4 hours way up.
Oh, bro, it was like 5, dude.
4? 5?
4 or 5.
But it was this...
each way.
Way out in the middle of nowhere. It's like, I don't know, have you guys been up to Canada? Or like
going towards Canada?
Yeah, like going towards Canada. It's completely remote. Just super long highways in the middle of nowhere. We ended up parking our...
we got pulled over.
Oh, yeah, we got pulled over by these...
about 100 miles away. And these cops were really nice. They're like, oh, you're ghost hunters? Oh, that's cool. Where are you guys going? I figured, what are they going to do? So I told him, and he goes, what did he say?
Just be careful going up there or something like that?
Yeah, be careful going up there. There's a lot of sovereign communities, sovereign citizens. I don't know much about that. I mean, back then I didn't know much about that. And he goes, and the other guy goes, yeah, you ever seen the Hills Gone Wild? Or the Hills Got Ice? Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. The cops warning us. They don't go over there like. And we ended up getting caught.
By the people there?
The property owners or something?
Property owners or security. But, dude, they were like. Hillbilly or hick? What would you say?
They were like
boy, we don't like your kind around here, type of thing.
They weren't that bad.
In Montana, it's weird because they look the part, but they don't have accents. But they're very,
Fuck that.
You won't hear y'all or nothing, but they're just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have killed us out there. Nobody would
find you guys.
Yeah, that was a cool spot, man.
Feed you to the pigs.
Yeah. Also, there's there's a lot of meth and trafficking up there too, which is crazy. Yeah, up in Montana.
Fuck that. That's one of the reasons that I think, like I told you earlier, aside from the ghosts, also I would try not to go alone to abandoned places because you never know what's out there.
Dude, that's the stuff that scared me. That and like stepping on maybe like needles. We used to find tons of needles and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah, needles because
just a year ago. Remember that in Fontana? Right before you get into Southridge off of Valley, Cherry and Valley or something like that, there's a little area out there, and it used to be like a men's center or some sort of a rehab or clinic or something. It's property with a bunch of houses. And outside in the patio, it looked like somebody dumped a full trash can full of used needles, and they were just all over
that was a thumbnail
ground.
for your video, right?
Yeah,
something like that? Yeah, okay, I remember now.
I mean, I got a stick, and I was digging through this shit, and there was blood and medicine still in these needles. And
obviously you guys have never been stuck by a needle or nothing, right?
No.
Or
not that they're aware of.
I fell off this ledge in East LA one time and it busted my knee. I had to have reconstructive surgery on it.
Damn, because of the band up? Because of doing
I was leaving the property and I jumped off this wall and there's barbed wire on both sides. I mean, I'm a big dude, right? So I don't want to jump and get all caught up in the barbed wire like a dumbass. And so I said, man, fuck it. So I jumped, but when I jumped, the ground wasn't flat. It was a hill, and my right knee just completely bent backwards.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, I got a cadaver part in me, too. They put another person's part in me, used parts. So that was a trip when I found that out. I was like, okay, you're the doctor. Do it.
Frankenstein.
my brothers all. So what if that dude was like a badass basketball player and now you can like dunk him?
You just gotta jump off that foot.
No, I'm still the same old Jake.
Yeah.
So you're telling us you brought your gear with you, huh?
Yeah, I brought a little equipment. Just in case you guys ask what I use, what I'm into. But came to the door and You guys were saying that you might have something here.
Yeah, man. That's why I wanted to see you bring it out right now. See what we can do.
Is it right here?
No, but it's actually.
You want to try to do something right here?
Yeah,
on
there's
the podcast. Yeah,
there's been different people. My mom here specifically. I've gotten weird feelings when I'm here alone, especially at night. I've had situations, but I just try to ignore them.
Okay.
You know, you get that hardcore chills, like, nah, dude, get the hell out of here. You know, it's nothing bad. I know it's not bad. It's not a bad spirit. It's nothing.
What's the area? Is it here? Is it downstairs?
It's here and downstairs. It's both.
Okay.
So it's both. My mom actually, one time she was here with her friend, and I don't know what the hell they were doing. They were cleaning or something, and she started coming up the stairs because she heard a voice. So she thought it was her friend. And when she got to the top of the stairs, she felt like she just bumped into someone, and she just saw like a figure. And then that was it. And then
that was right here,
it was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to help him out with the HR stuff here, and you would not catch me here by myself. Fuck that. I'm like, hey, if I'm outside, when we'll work late, I'm like, nah, if I'm outside, dog.
It's not bad, bro. You just gotta be front with them. Understand something. Most of the time, when you encounter a spirit, they were people at one time.
True.
Like the misconception again. All the demons, they're skinwalkers, there's all kinds of weird names. Slender Man. They were people at one time, brother. So talk to them.
I don't think it's more of the fact that they were not people. It was more of the fact that they're not supposed to be here. Like,
yeah,
I can't go up to you and be like, so that to me,
but who's to say they're not supposed to be here at the same time?
True.
Like, I mean, who's to say, you know, like, there's like this theory that some spirits are not resting. They can't leave until they, you know, whatever finish their business, or they have unresolved things and they have to get that out.
So if you saw somebody, you would be like, hey, how can I help you?
I've tried talking just to, like, you know, but that's just common.
Bro, if you feel there's something with you, or even if not, say situation where you had to be in here all night by yourself, just walk in man to man to say, hey, people noticed you. I noticed you're here. I felt you. Do me a favor, respect my space, and don't scare me. That's all I ask. And you'd be surprised how many times they will. Now, if you're down as fuck, you can sit there and be like, I want you to come over and sit next to me, blah, 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 blah. You have the permission to touch me on the shoulder. That's different. And some of them will do it. Some of them don't have the power to do it. And some of them won't do it.
Gotcha.
And some of them don't care, bro. They'll just turn every hair in your body fucking straight up.
Yeah.
You know what ghost feels like? It feels like, have you ever gotten a balloon full of helium and you rub it on the carpet and then it's the person's hair just like that, bro, but all over or whatever side.
That's the feeling I'm talking about. Those spider chills that you just like, nah.
Like spider webs, like little tingly where you just want to,
That's crazy. Yeah,
man. If you guys want to try a spirit box right now,
I'm down to do it. You down, Mike?
I mean, if we want to do it in front of the camera, yeah. Since we have the cameras here.
Bro, whatever you guys want to do. You want to walk downstairs? You want to stay up here?
We'll stay up here.
Stay up here.
Right now, where he's staying at, in his apartment, he's been telling us about this little kid.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You're rolling, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna start turning stuff off as he's talking.
So he tells me that he's been seeing the presence, right? And he saw his apartment has a big ass like roof that's slanted that there's no way you can get up there unless you got a ladder. And he has a picture where he has fingerprints on it, right? Like, fuck that.
It's a little hand.
It's a little hand, little kid hand. Anyways, I stayed there maybe about a month ago, right?
Okay.
2 months ago? No, a month and a half ago. We did that podcast, and we're talking. We're sitting there drinking, not too much. We're not faded or anything. My sister is there. We're playing poker. And me and my sister are talking about my mom's old house. My mom's old house.
Yeah,
whatever you guys said you experienced
pretty crazy.
Here, I've experienced a lot of fucking bad shit there. Like fucking trastes fucking just being dropped on the floor. Very negative shit. There's a lot of reasons for that. I don't want to speak about her.
You guys remember that playground you used to have? That little thing outside in the yard? Remember one time I was driving by, it was like 3 a.m. in the middle of summer, and I even stopped. It was like just no wind,
That house.
No, nothing, just swinging. I was like, okay? What the?
No bullshit. Like, anyways, a lot of fucking crazy things. And we were talking about it. Me and my sister was like, remember when this, remember when that. And she's telling us the experience that she had at her ex-girlfriend's house with a little fucking thing that they told her, don't open it. She opened it, and she felt that she had a spirit on her. Anyways, we're talking about this. I'm getting chills. And this part already showed us a picture of the hands, right? And we're like, whatever, like, trying to think about it. I've been here before, and I don't fucking see anything. So I was supposed to sleep with the kids because of that. I said, fuck it, I'm going to sleep with all the kids in the room. There was like 7 or 8 kids total at the time. My 2 daughters and my son. His daughter, other nephews and stuff like that. These little fuckers decided, because we're playing poker downstairs, right? Mm-hmm. These little fuckers, all the kids went to go to sleep, and they left me downstairs. My son fell asleep on the couch. I was like, fuck, I can't leave him by himself because he's 7. Fuck. So I went to sleep, dog. After we played poker, they went to the room. My sister left. And I fucking... Oh, the first thing that happened to me is I put a ball in the corner. And
Why would you do that if you're scared?
Well, I put the ball...
He was putting it away.
I was putting it away.
Oh, okay.
I put the ball.
Oh,
I set it down. And I went to sleep. Mm-hmm. But before I went to sleep...
You completely skipped the beer bottle.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the part we were trying to get to.
I'm sorry.
That what he's saying now?
Yeah. I'm sorry. We're sitting down on the table. I'm sitting like this, getting the cards ready. He's sitting right there. This is the table. And we have the beers. And there's one beer unopened. Mm-hmm. The ones that you can't twist off. It's not a twist off. Tell me why that shit twisted off and the fucking cap fell off.
Bro, I seen that shit.
I was right here, dog.
And where is this?
At his house.
Falling apart.
What's up with the video?
I'll show you some pictures after, dog.
Hey, I got more gear than this. I got a bunch of night vision cameras.
So we're like this, right? I'm like, I look at him, and he's like looking at me. He's like, did you hear that? I was like, did you see that? I was like, yes, motherfucker, I'm right here next to you. And he's like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't even want to think about this shit. I'm already here. I can't go nowhere. I'm going to be sleeping here no matter what.
Hey, but that fool's a homie, though. That fool opened the beer up for you.
And
shit.
I was about to say.
That's what's up.
So then they all leave. I put the ball in the corner because the ball was on top of the couch where I'm going to be laying down. I put the ball in the corner, bro. 5-10 seconds later, the ball's rolled back to me. I was like,
sounds like my kind of
place. I was like, what the fuck is this? I said, man, just...
Ignore it and shit?
Ignore this shit, dog. Just go to fucking sleep. I lay down, bro, and I put my back towards... I put my face towards the sofa and my back towards the open space. Mm-hmm. There was somebody walking around there. They didn't touch me, but I kept saying, no, you're not welcome here. Like my mom used to say, my mom, because my mom experienced a lot of shit, miéntale la madre. I'm pretty sure you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there, fuck you, get the
Curse
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You're not welcome here. Get the fuck away. Please don't fucking, I'm like, I'm not scared of you, but get the fuck out of here. But I knocked out, and then the next morning I told him, I was like, hey, fool, what the fuck? So I stayed there last night. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I slept with all my daughters and my son, but he has a picture that he took last week.
And salts around this.
Nah. Same fingerprints on the mirror.
A lot of ghost hunters believe that they were people at one time. So just tell them to say, hey, you got to kick back.
Yeah.
Don't scare me.
Shit
you're welcome. I don't know if you're comfortable with that, but just say,
I'm not. That's why I don't do it. But like,
whoever you are, I'm asking you to respect me.
Gotcha.
Don't scare me.
Gotcha.
You want to move something, do it when there's a bunch of people around me. Don't do it when I'm by myself.
Gotcha.
Hey, I want to bring a point up real quick.
Go ahead.
False evidence and what people need to look out for.
Okay.
Look at the K2 meter. Can you catch that?
No, you can't.
yeah, he's somewhat in there.
See how it's on?
Yeah.
The 2 green lights?
This is not going off, but that is.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I guarantee you that's the gear here.
Okay.
Because it's a constant.
Or the mics?
Anything that gives off EMF. Let me see if it even. See how it fluctuates?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Cell phones, definitely. Especially if you open up your cell phone like this, watch it spike. See that? People will do that shit and they don't care. They'll post it. Like, oh my God. So what I'm going to do is, just because of the fact that there's so much EMF in here, we're not going to use this.
Gotcha.
But we got the REM pod.
Okay.
So You guys want to see if there's any spirits here?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You want me to ask questions, or you guys want to ask questions?
You're the expert, bro.
Yeah, fuck
You know,
that.
and you know what? I did it on purpose because I know this guy wouldn't want to do it if we would have planned it. So I called him out on camera. So
Okay, so, you know what? Another thing is that you guys might want to pay attention to is when you edit. If you just and then try not to jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, cool, but don't put it out there. But if you hear a voice that just doesn't match up, like if he's editing and all of a sudden he hears a lady talking, where the F did that come from?
true.
You know, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do it.
So let's see. Okay, I don't know if the. Yeah, see how sensitive these things are?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I have here is a SB7 spirit box. And I'm going to run it backwards at about 140, 150, and it's going to try to pick up spirit voices. Don't pay attention to radio. You're going to hear a little radio come in. You're going to hear like a little music. No, we're looking for clear voices that everybody can understand. In the paranormal field, if it's not clear, if it's not relevant, if you got to show somebody 10 times before they go, oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, don't fuck with it. When I show somebody something, if they pick it up right away, oh, wow, that's weird. You got something there, you know? But if somebody has to, like, zoom in on a picture and flip it upside down and reverse it, and don't you see? It's
And they gotta explain it.
you're putting too much on it. Like, it's too much, bro. Too much extra stuff, like you said. Okay, so let me turn this on. Get loud. Hold on.
I got the fucking headphones too, so I can hear perfect.
Yeah, me too. I have him on too.
Is it be too strong?
No, you're good.
We good? We clear?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm asking any spirits that are in this building right now, if you can hear the sound of my voice, can you come over here? Okay, now see, don't. Right away, he's like, yeah, that's radio. Okay? Bro, trust me. When something comes through, it's going to be on top of these waves. It's going to be crisp. Is there a spirit with us right now? All radio. See, that was a little, it was over several frequencies. What's your name? You know, people see you here, they felt you. They just like to know your name. Can you see how that experiment is with the eyes closed? How maybe that sound, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's already getting annoying to me. So listen, this is your last opportunity you're going to have. I'd like you to come over here and talk to us.
They say it was the owner of the building.
Huh?
They say it was the owner of the building.
Who's the owner of this building? What's your first name? Don't be afraid of us. We're going to leave. We just want to communicate and get to know you. Do you want us to go? Yeah, not much for radio coming through.
What does this do?
This is a K2, REM pod. So basically, any spirits that come around here, this basically puts out a bubble of EMF about the size of a beach ball. If it detects EMF, it'll go off. So my cell phone pumps out EMF pretty regularly, so let's see if it goes off.
Gotcha.
But then again, your hand will do the same thing. So if it detects EMF coming into its field, it'll give you an alert.
Gotcha.
And that's something that apps can't do. Even though a phone does put out EMF, there's no way that it could alert you that it's detecting EMF. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, fuck. At
glad
least.
we at least tried. You know, we can try again when we leave, just downstairs. But
Yeah.
There you go. See, you got nothing to worry about.
I don't fucking work here no more. So I'm good.
bro, but then again, you another thing to keep in mind is, like I said, there were people at one time. If they feel intimidated or for whatever reason they don't trust us, or maybe some of them are scared, they'll disengage.
Okay.
They'll totally disengage. You know.
Cool. Do you want to move on to the No Manches segment?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I don't know if he sent you the sheet or explained to you what the No Manches segment is. You guys know what No Manches means, right?
I don't. You know?
So No Manches means like No Manches, like you did. It could be a pet peeve. It could be something that something funny, something in your field. You know, like it's kind of like how do you say it in English? No Manches, No Mames.
No mames, way.
Like No Mames way. Like it could be, like I said, funny or a pet peeve. We like to do this segment because we like to see what our No Manches are for the day. I guess I could start this one, and then you guys can see an example of that. Mine's gonna be related to our topic here of ghost hunting and paranormal. I have a Ring camera, right? Fucking, we put in the front door, and ever since we fucking put it on, you know, it detects motion, right? So it's supposed to go on and alert me whenever the fuck there's motion in the front, right? Tell me why the fucking Ring keeps detecting motion at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. You know, again, I get it. It's little fucking animals, little bugs. But when you first get the fucking Ring, no manches. You're tripping out because you're like, what the fuck? Just
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, holy fuck, it's 3 in the morning. I don't want to check. I don't want to, you know, I'm a homeowner, so I gotta check because I'm the male of the house. I'm supposed to fucking protect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, there's nothing. What the fuck is it? And then you can see the little bugs running around and shit, right? The little, but then you start tripping because you're like, are they orbs or are they fucking bugs? So anyways, that's my No Manches. Fucking Ring. Stop fucking waking me up at 3 in the morning.
Just messing with you?
Yeah, just for fuck with me.
You gotta turn off your notifications.
Nah, I think it's super sensitive.
Yeah, well, you could change the sensitivity too.
We bought one where I live, and we live on a kind of a busy corner. It would hit every car, bro.
You gotta
the first hour we shut that shit down.
Determine the zones. Put it just right at the entrance of the door.
I guess we should have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my No Manches of the day.
Ain't that a bitch when you get out of the shower and you realize you gotta take a shit?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, No Manches. Fucking bowel movements, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody's experienced that. You're like, fuck.
What do? So you sit down and you wet the toilet and then you're dripping wet.
No, I mean, you get ready, you're about to leave, bro. You got the cologne on, you're like, híjole.
Yeah, that's a No Manches.
Why do I fuck with Alberto's at 2 a.m., dude?
Kind of saw the fries dog, that's why.
You put the,
Man, I don't know what that's. There's something about that beef that's like,
it's good though.
ground pterodactyl toes.
It's only good when you're drunk. After
that,
Dame un burrito de asada, échale crema en queso. And you know that's gonna fuck you up.
I'm gonna go.
I got a story about that, yeah, but don't drink beer, eat shrimp, and then eat ice cream or milk before you go to bed.
Oh, that's a horrible. You can't mix
I learned
seafood with milk, bro. That's
now I wonder why when I was a kid, when we used to have fish, they used to never give it to the babies because they were walking around drinking their milk.
Yeah.
I guess we give them chorro.
No ceviche for the kids. What about Ray? Ray, do you have a?
Should I keep it with the topic?
Whatever you want.
I'll just keep it with the topic. Yeah, one thing that really bothers me, like in Urban Exploring, is when people wear those little paper masks. Like, those don't do anything. Just so you guys know.
Which paper mask?
Like, I've seen people wear like the surgical mask or the cloth mask. Like, that doesn't protect you from asbestos or from virus or anything like that. Just so people know. Like, yeah, it really pisses me off. Like, I'll see people like make videos like that. Like, it doesn't do anything.
Spirits have COVID, bro.
All that too.
That is a No Manches. That's pretty funny too.
My No Manches, I think it's more like keeping it within like the way we grew up. Like, we're Mexican, well, me and him, and just the shit that our parents would tell us to scare the shit out of us.
Oh,
Like what, La Llorona?
Like everything, bro. Literally every fucking monster possible existed and was from their ranch and shit.
That's
Or
true.
near their ranch.
That's true.
You know, or near their hometown.
No,
like,
you notice La Llorona, it's always from where that parent is from.
yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck is La Llorona in Michoacan?
Yeah.
How the fuck is La Llorona in Jalisco?
She
How
got
the
that
fuck is La Llorona in Los Angeles?
Freaking flyer
I
miles.
think
dog.
there's a Llorona in like England now.
Is
Really?
there?
No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, man.
It's like they make, you know what makes the rounds too? You know that's all mostly BS, right? The
Yeah.
stories. It might trace back to one true story, I don't know. But a big one that is so fake that people just believe is the Gravity Hills.
Gravity
You know how
Hills.
many Gravity Hills alone are in the state of California?
Oh, there's a lot.
70.
The fingerprints?
Every
On the
city
bus?
has
Yeah.
got 2 or 3, and everybody has the same story. No, but you should have seen what we got. Shut up, dude.
And they pushed the
Bro,
car.
you guys know where
Pushed the
Rose
car
Hills
up.
is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up
A lot
here.
of family buried there. Yeah, my family. There's a Gravity Hill over there, and some guy went over there with the level, and it's an optical illusion. The landscape, you got to pay attention. You know, it's your car just doesn't get pushed. You're actually sitting on a hill, and even though you're looking up, you're actually on a slope.
You ever heard of Turnbull Canyon?
Yeah.
Have you been up there?
That's a hard ass
Yeah,
fucking
but
walk
I mean,
up there. Bro.
No, not a walk. It's a drive.
I drove
Oh,
up to
that's
the
what the-
gates, but I didn't know how to get in. I don't know what's up there.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Do people still go up
It's
there?
the water tower,
I
right?
haven't. We used to go drink up there back in high
You know
school.
what's crazy about that location, though? I did some history. There was a Native American tribe that lived around there back in the day, and they had a name for Turnbull Canyon, and they stayed away from it.
Oh, shit. You ever heard of Turnbull
Spooked them.
Canyon?
Well, yeah, I've been there for hiking.
I used to drive through there a lot. Like,
Yeah.
a lot
Going
of people go
through.
race up there and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do, but
Isn't
heard
it- isn't
recently,
it like
huh?
Whittier /
Like
Brea?
Whittier,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go through La Puente or Industry.
Hacienda Heights.
Yeah.
but anyway, there's people who like go race up there, and they say there's people like doing Satan rituals and
Yeah, that's what I heard. There's a lot of
yeah.
KKK people.
the Nazis.
That's
The-
everywhere too. Every
everywhere,
every
too.
hill and all that. Supposedly Pasadena has one of those too. Like
Well, I heard Pasadena is called Zelda's Cave, isn't it? Isn't that what they called it?
I don't know, but
Back in the day when we were in high school.
there's all
there was
kinds of shit.
Watch
Everywhere.
to
out,
sell
watch
this
out for the
kid.
urban legends, you guys.
Yeah.
I just debunked one recently in
Which
Corona
one?
called Hell's Gate.
Is that the one in Norco?
Hell's Gate, is that what I'm saying? Right?
No,
I
that's
think
cool.
so. No, it's in Corona, right?
There's a story about a house in Corona that mom and dad went on a date night and they left the 2 kids there with a babysitter, a local girl, a young teenager. And something happened where she got demon possessed and she locked the kids in the basement and lit the house on fire and then killed herself.
True story?
Huh?
True story?
It sounds true, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Be real. Sounds true, right? Sounds
Yeah.
interesting, spooky.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's an urban legend. I called a local museum and they laughed at me. I've called them twice and talked to them. They're like, an old man lived up there. His last name was this. They owned the farm. It goes all the way back to the early 1900s. He was senile in the 70s. He was losing it. And he didn't have any electricity. It was a very old house. And he used to walk around with a kerosene lantern. And he tipped it over and burned the house down. The guy said, I've been living in the Corona area for 7 years. I've never heard of any kids dying in the fire up there. But,
Urban
So-
legends, yeah.
So how do
People
these
just-
stories come about and shit?
right? It's just a spooky place. There used to be a house there.
You ever heard of La Mano Peluda?
The hairy hand.
A hairy hand?
That's for other reasons.
No. Yeah, well, when I lived in Omani, I went to Payne Elementary. Right there, right behind Food for Less,
Okay.
where the old Crawfords used to be at, in the corner.
Is that by Longo Toyota?
Before Longo Toyota. Where Valley and Garvey cross.
Oh, I think so. Okay.
So there's a school there, elementary. I used to go there, and they used to say this fucking myth that there was a mano peluda in the bathroom, and everybody would be like, "Oh, la mano peluda, la mano peluda," or the other one where you go into the restroom. Don't try this shit, guys. I'm not telling you to do this shit.
Bloody
Bloody
Mary?
Mary?
Bloody Mary, or if you cussed at the mirror, and you said, "Come, I don't believe in you," or whatever. You know, basically calling in the
Let's
spirit.
try it. You want to try it?
Hell nah.
That's a different.
I
That's
heard
a different world.
I heard different shit, man. But
Yeah.
anyways,
That could be scary, looking into a mirror when there's no light.
yeah, no
Oh,
lie,
yeah.
and just fucking.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know where that came from, though. You can be
I've never done
calling
it. So.
something up, you know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. That's why.
I'm good.
For real.
So we're gonna move on to our last segment. Our last segment is basically we always like to ask for words of wisdom. You know, things that you guys live by. It could be a saying. It could be something that you guys do. You could tie it into your profession or just how you live your daily life. If you want to talk to our listeners and your listeners, or anybody that's out there, just words of wisdom. What do you guys live by or do? And you both could each have your own.
Time.
I can't come up with a good quote, but I always try to stay skeptical. Like, for real. Like, there's a lot of bullshit out there.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Stay skeptical.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, I was gonna say the same thing. When it comes to sensitive topics like what I'm into, paranormal investigating, be careful before you slip in the bullshit. Don't be duped by all these guys trying to get views. Most of the shit you see on the internet, social media, it's all bullshit. It's all for show.
Yeah.
It's hard to come across an honest, real ghost hunter, and when you find one, if you're really interested in getting to the truth, follow them. Follow me. You know, if you're not interested and you just wanna see a scary video, then go ahead. It's October. It's America. You can do what you want. You know.
Yeah. and that goes true with other.
Keep it real. That's my quote. Keep it real.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna play this like all the podcasts with the pretty music? In
Oh
the
yeah,
background?
for sure.
He likes to put the music.
Like them young, like 19-year-old youngsters.
There you go.
You gotta respect the game for the game respect. You know what I'm saying? Gotta look out for the haters and figure out which haters are for you.
That's
Bro, I'm not gonna take advice from a 19-year-old kid full of dumb tattoos that talks like he's from the South. Looks like he was born in Orange County. Like, bro,
He's talking about the
barber guy. The barber
I
guy.
didn't say any names. There's a lot of them though. It's like,
I'll
bro,
edit
what do
this
you
out.
know? You're 15. What kind of fire you walk through?
There's a
What
lot
are
of
you
people
gonna
out there
tell
like that,
me?
bro.
Like, and then people look at that like hating, but it's a nice thing he's saying. I shouldn't knock it, but it's just too much now.
Yeah, no,
Too much. All the, you know,
all the
all the
motivational
life
speakers.
quotes, all the life quotes. It's too much.
Yep.
So don't put no pretty music behind what I'm saying. You know?
Up for Halloween.
Put a scary. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
for-
Put something fucking. Anyways, we want to say thank you. I know you guys live pretty far, and we want to say thank you guys for coming out here.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate
And,
you guys
Thanks
coming.
for having
Giving
me.
us a little bit of your time. Definitely, we want to take you up on maybe coming back in the future.
Of course.
Seeing maybe if we could, I don't know, maybe we could do something while you guys are on the field, a podcast,
Mobile podcast.
session. I don't know if I'll take you up on a ghost one, but
Well, you just did a ghost hunt right now?
true.
We'll invite the ghost.
you
We'll,
go.
we'll put the couch for the ghost right now. Hey, come
Hey,
get
come sit down,
comfortable.
chill. But hell nah. But anyways, we want to say thank you guys. Appreciate what you guys do. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I've been following you guys for a couple of years. So keep doing what you guys are doing. Hopefully, we were able to capture more crazy shit and debunk it or maybe find the truth to things. So,
Yeah, like you said, he said it all. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Paranormal is a big thing for us, so
yeah.
we really enjoy it. Be kind.